I guess I felt important because like you're walking around in your gown, like people are taking pictures of you.
Or Batoni. Hello and welcome back to the Pre-Uni podcast. I'm your host Jamal, and today my guest is the most nonchalant of Dreadheads. Except he got over 90% in A-level maths and A-level physics. He has his uni fees paid by an F1 team, and he does American football. Welcome, Tony. How are you today, man?
I'm good, bro. What are you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm well, isn't it? So, my first question today is, Tony, how did you find sixth form?
Sixth form. I mean, obviously, I went to CTK, Sid Cup, St. Mary's, and if I'm being real, it was calm. Obviously, a lot of stuff going on, different types of people, but I'd say it was quiet. It was a funny experience, But I didn't really get involved in like the drama and shit. I was just like in the library, just grinding and shit. But yeah, it was decent, I'll say. Calm.
So what made you, I forgot to mention, he also goes to Oxford University for studying engineering. What made you first want to apply to Oxford?
So I'd say I wasn't really like thinking about Oxbridge when I came into sixth form. But one of my teachers, she heard what I thought about my EPQ and she was like, oh, you're kind of like well spoken, maybe you should try applying to Oxbridge. So at first I kind of like brushed it. But I was like, I get the grades, so I might as well see what happens if I apply, see if I get in. So yeah, that's how that was the first like instant I thought, yeah, let me try apply Oxbridge. Yeah.
Would you say then that you got a lot of support then from CTK when it came to applying?
I would say so, because like my school didn't do further maths. I had to go to another CTK. So I'd say they provided me with like the resources I needed to even learn further maths, the AS. And also, I think when I was preparing for my admissions test as well, because my school obviously doesn't get people into Oxbridge like that. So other schools, what they do is that they have like mock tests. They have like seminars where they teach you how to answer those questions. So my school was able to like find another school that was willing to teach me how to answer the PAT questions. So I'd say, yeah, they provided a bit of support. But like obviously mainly it was like me. But I'll say they helped a little bit.
So of course, now we're in the summer year and you should be preparing for your admissions test if you're not already. So what advice do you have for anyone trying to get into Oxbridge engineering?
I would say look at the papers because the one for Cambridge is slightly different to the one for Oxford. I think Cambridge is yeah, the Engar, yeah, it's like 115 minutes, non-calculator. So it's kind of like a fast-paced, quick maths thinking type of admissions test. Whereas the one for Oxford, you sit the same paper as earth science, physics. So it's earth science, physics, and engineering, and it's 2 hours long. You get a calculator, but it's the GCSE one, and the type of questions they ask are like long, like they look scary in it, but like they're not as bad as they look. So someone like me, obviously, if I don't have a calculator, I'm not like that good at maths. Like I tend to make silly mistakes.
But you got over 90% in maths, and you're trying to tell everyone here you're not good at maths.
Bro,
get out of here.
A-level maths is different though. That's like problem solving type of maths. Obviously, I got the calculator there.
Oh, okay,
but,
that's a good point.
Like if I get a calculator, then I can like mash work in it. So that was the main reason I ended up even going Oxford over Cambridge. It's just the admissions test was more suited to me. So any tips? I would say like literally do as many past papers as possible, and don't just refine yourself to the one admissions test as well. Because even though I was trying to prepare for the PAT, which is Oxford, I also did MAT questions. I did some TMEA questions. I did the natural science admissions test for Cambridge as well. Because like some questions in those papers have overlap with the ones you're gonna get. So it's like it's all within the same type of like range. So yeah, just don't limit yourself. Just throw yourself to as many questions as possible.
Yeah, I think that's a good point as well, because obviously there's only like a finite amount of past papers available.
Exactly.
So making sure you're doing past papers for a variety of subjects, even if it's not the one you're trying to do, just slack. Make sure you're smarter mentally as well. But you mentioned the questions are crazy tough. So how did you manage to keep composure while doing the testing?
See, I don't know if it's only me, but like when I'm doing an exam, the first few questions, like obviously you're like calm, this is calm. And then as soon as one question goes sideways, your confidence goes down. And then because your confidence is down, it's like you start to make silly mistakes and shit. So I remember in my exam, I literally opened the first question and I was like, oh, okay, I'm cooked. So I was like, instead of just going from question 1 to, I think it was question, how many questions there were? Instead of going from the first question to the last question chronologically, what I did is like, I was just going through the paper, I was looking at, okay, I can do this question, do So I kind of lost composure, but like I had to remind myself that at the end of the day, even if I know that my answer is completely wrong, as long as I'm sure of my steps, it's alright. Because like what they care about is not necessarily getting the right answer. They give you marks for working out, and even if like your answer is completely off, it's better to write something than nothing. So it was just like constantly reminding myself that alright, cool. Even though this is completely wrong, let me just write it. There has to be some, as long as I can see like the logic you followed through, then that's cool. So just you have to just remind yourself about that.
Yeah, I think that's especially important because, of course, everyone wants to get into the best unis, isn't it?
Yeah.
So the pressure can get to you differently. But knowing that you're always trying to like salvage the situation, like you didn't feel confident and you still write method marks down.
Exactly. It's all about method marks, man.
Yeah, I feel like that's the composure you need as well, innit?
Yeah, for real, bro.
So why did you decide to do engineering?
Engineering. I mean, it might sound kind of cliche, but it all started when I was a kid.
Do not use that in your personal statement.
You know what's crazy? Guess what the first sentence in my personal statement is? Bro, I'm pretty sure my personal statement, that's why I haven't made a single video about personal statements. Because I know that if I make a video of my personal statement on TikTok, people are just going to be like, bro started his personal statement with growing up as a kid. Hey, it still worked though, innit?
I mean, you're here where you are, innit?
It still worked, but like, I was really interested in like, for some reason, origami. So then I went through this like loophole of like paper airplanes. And without knowing it, I was designing paper airplanes, yeah. And then I watched YouTube videos on like drag, lift, force. And keep in mind, I was about 9 years old. F equals MA. I was 9. I didn't really understand what I was looking at, but like it kind of conceptually made sense because I was like applying it practically. And then, yeah, I started making like rubber band powered gliders. So like you just twist the propeller goes, and then the plane like flies.
When you were 9 years old?
When I was 10, and I got in trouble for that as well, because like it's kind of like arts and crafty, so like the room gets messy and stuff. And so my parents really weren't fans of that, but it's calm. So I think it was one of those ones where I was really interested in how things worked from like a young age, and then I wanted to be an architect, but I clocked the money isn't really there in architecture. I'm not putting architecture students down. I'm just saying like the money is in engineering, isn't it? So I was like, calm. Let me just do engineering, and it doesn't cut me off from other pathways as well. So.
Definitely.
It's a very versatile like degree you can use.
No, but what I do like though is that even though you used the worst ever personal statement introduction, you still had like a nice story to tell, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Because I feel like I didn't know you were gonna go with the origami route there and the rubber power glide. I feel like when I was writing my personal statement as well, it has like a theme towards it as well. So having that nice story, despite the horrible intro, it gave you like a nice theme. So when did you start working on your personal statement and when did you get it done? Because I've been telling guys, bro, get the PS done ASAP.
You know what, yeah. My personal statement or story was kind of like horror, I can't lie, because I think end of year 12, that was when I said I want to go to Oxford. I kid you not, because I was still doing my EPQ as well, I kind of brushed personal statement to the side. I hadn't done any super-curriculars, because when does school finish for year 12?
Finishes in like July.
July, cool. So I'm pretty sure I hadn't started my personal statement till like halfway through July.
That's not too bad, not too bad.
And then I hadn't done no super-curriculars, no nothing at that time. So yeah, I started quite late, and that's when I joined Target Oxbridge as well. Because I didn't join in year 12, I joined like super late, so I was on the waiting list, because I didn't know what it was at the time. So then I started like mid July, but I didn't really actually start working on it properly till like August.
That's because you're trying to get super-curriculars to put down, isn't it?
Yeah.
And what kind of super-curriculars were you working on during the summer?
Luckily, I did work experience at the National Grid for like a week. And
That is cold. How did you get that?
I think I was part of Generating Genius. Do you know Generating Genius?
Yeah.
So then
Tony Sewell was the one who founded that.
Yeah. So I was part of Generating Genius, and they gave people opportunities and stuff. So I had work experience at the National Grid.
That's
and I also
tough,
did some,
bro.
I did appreciate it, bro. I did some work experience at PwC. But when it came to like structuring my personal statement, I also read like 3 books, but I didn't even end up putting them into my personal statement because I feel like it made my personal statement a bit cluttered, because I felt like I was just putting it there just to show I read the book. But like, that doesn't necessarily mean that, you're actually going out of your way. Like, I don't know, I feel like some people feel like they need books in there, but realistically speaking, as long as you're showing that you've gone beyond your syllabus in any way, shape or form, that's more than enough. So my personal statement doesn't have any books in it. It's just super-curriculars. I found a really interesting journal about like a building and how they like mitigated the earthquakes using some engineering.
Is it the way that the building it curves?
Yes, it was to do with like it's a damper system. Basically, it counters the swaying of the building. So I spoke about that really detailed in my personal statement. And it's all about showing technicality in your personal statement as well as interest.
Yeah. And I feel like it's really good that you mentioned that you didn't put every single thing that you've done in your personal statement. Because I remember I was in year 12 year, I was like, how do I fit every single thing? But it needs to flow nicely, isn't it?
Exactly.
And I feel like you need to make sure you're in a position here where you have too much, effectively. So you just handpick the best ones which fit together for that right combination. And I feel like that was a good job. So you had a hella productive year 12 summer.
Hey, listen, once that Oxbridge mode came on, there was no time for Lele, bro. I had to lock in.
Did you feel the pressure though to apply? Because I feel like some people might be listening to this being like, they just have no confidence in applying in it.
I mean, with me, I don't know. I feel like, because I wasn't really bothered about it, I just applied.
It's one of them was on Dreadhead, yeah?
Nah, bro. It's more like, it felt like, you know the ones you just shoot? Like,
shoot people's hoop.
No, not like that, but like... But like, I wasn't really fussed about it. Obviously, I guess everyone's different. I felt like if it was one of those ones where I knew about Oxbridge since I was in primary school and like I was hyping myself up for this moment, then it would like there would be more at stake. Because for me it was such a like last minute thing, I wasn't really bothered about it. The only time I started getting stressed out was once I'd gotten my interview and once I got the offer. Because that was when I was like, shit, like I actually got the offer. Now I have to get the grades. That was when I was a bit stressed out because it's like I need to meet the grades. But apart from that, I wouldn't say I was under pressure. Yeah.
I feel like that's good to hear because, like, I was reading this thing here where, like, have you watched the Usain Bolt race before?
Like any in general?
Yeah. You seem like he's always seems to be, like, jogging.
Yeah, he's just chilling.
That's because, like, the world's fastest sprinters only run 80% as fast. Because they still stays relaxed enough, to actually run faster than if they were fully try-harding that whole thing.
Yeah, because you tense up and then
exactly, bro.
And then your form goes off and then,
So you need that, like, I will say, that, like, you should, like, go out at it. Like, if you want to go Oxbridge, you want to go to these top unis, go at it. But nearer towards the date, just relax and, like, just ease yourself into it. Like, you've done the work, and it kind of carries you through.
Yeah,
you want to be too tense towards it, isn't it? Or you're going to start fumbling. Yeah. Just, like, keep composure.
Don't burn out. That's one thing. I guess it's easier said than done, to be fair. Like, everyone's going to have periods in time where, obviously, they have to, like, put in that extra hour of work or so. But try to remember at the end of the day, there's only so much you can do. So just pace yourself and then just remember, just keep it steady, stay consistent. At the end of the day, consistency is what gets you the results. So just try to keep that in mind.
It's calm. So you had your PS done. So when did you start prepping for that interview? Because it came around in December, innit?
Yeah.
Do you remember how much advance notice you had?
It was about 2 weeks. That's 2 weeks. Yeah. In terms of preparation for the interview, there was this really good website called I Want to Study Engineering.org.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
They had like literally hundreds of problems and they were really good. I also, funny enough, there was this book of this guy called Povey. He does like maths and physics questions inside the book. And then I did some of his questions as well. And he was one of the people that interviewed. He was one of the people that interviewed as well. Yeah, he was one of the people that interviewed me. So when I saw, because they email you, he's going to interview you as well. Yeah. One tip as well, because when you get that email, what I would recommend, go do research on the person that's interviewing you, so that when you're when you're doing the interview, you can ask them questions about the research. Because when they see that, it becomes less of an interview, it's more like a conversation. And so Povey must have been the one that interviewed me. And then he does research and like stuff to do with like fluid mechanics, all that kind of stuff. So I must have asked him questions about his research, how it's going, cool. And then I was kind of scared because like his book has really difficult questions. So I thought, oh my gosh, like this guy's interviewing me, I'm cooked. Like imagine I lied in my personal statement saying I read his book. He asked me questions about it. I'm like, oh. Well, luckily that didn't happen. The questions they asked me were quite straightforward. I feel like I got lucky with the kind of questions I got on my interview.
I mean, but if you prepare well, then you get the luck, right?
Yeah, true. I guess that's true as well. It's better to like overdo the preparation so that I guess when you get there, everything's like low-key easy. I'm not saying my interview was easy, but it was manageable. So the interview preparation was steady. Just do as many questions as you can. British Physics Olympiads, those questions are really good as well. Yeah.
Did you do any Isaac physics questions?
I did some. I wasn't too familiar with Isaac's physics, so I didn't really spend too much time on it. But that's a really good resource as well. I recommend.
That's calm. What did you do then when you were in the interview and you felt like you were stuck? Like, you saw a question, yeah, and you were like, I don't even understand what they're writing in it.
I can't lie. That didn't really happen to me. Yeah, I didn't.
I mean, you prepared well, innit? So
Me
that's calm.
personally, I didn't get stuck. But what I can say is that, because the interview style is just like tutorials, we go to Cambridge, call it supervisions, supers, whatever. But whenever I'm stuck in tutorials, don't pretend like you're smarter than you are. Obviously, use logic. If you get to a point where like, I don't know what to do, or hesitate, just ask. Be like, oh, okay, I know how we get from A to B, but how can we get from this point to the next point? And they're not gonna just give you the answer, they're gonna like give you little nudges. And then worst case scenario, you actually have no clue. They'll talk you through it. But I guess in the interview is kind of hard because like mine was online. Was yours online? Are the interviews online now?
Mine was in person.
Oh, yours in person. All right. I feel like in person is better because they get to see your body language and stuff. But obviously, what I would say is don't hesitate to let them know you don't know what you're doing, and don't pretend like, because obviously they're gonna teach it to you. They're gonna give you something that is beyond you. Like if you're getting everything right, something's wrong. If you get it right, they're gonna add complexity until you can't do it. Because they want to emulate what happens in tutorials. So when I'm stuck, what I just do, I just let them know I don't know what's happening, but I know how we got to this point. And then they literally just talk you through it. And at the end of the day, they're just trying to teach you something. So see it as just another like
That's a learning experience.
Yeah, learning experience rather than they're trying to see how smart I am. Obviously, if you're getting interviewed, they know you're a smart person. You did good in your admissions test. So yeah, just let them know that you don't know what you're doing, and then they'll just guide you to the answer.
Yeah, I agree. And I feel like the biggest takeaway here is that communication is key. I feel like when you're doing maths here, especially in class, you kind of just write the answer here and you just show it to the teacher. Like, is it right? Is it wrong? That's the thing. But with this thing, it's more like a conversation, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like a collaboration in a sense. Like, they're testing you to see whether you can get in or not, right? But at the same time, you still got to communicate where you are, isn't it? Like you said, it's about like, it's like communication gives you the method marks per se.
Exactly. That's literally how it is. It's just like doing an exam, just that it's verbal, just talking. Because at the end of the day, if you're one of those people that you're just used to doing everything and then you're not explaining it, right? That's not, like, even though you're super smart, Oxford and Cambridge are looking for type of people that are good at communicating their ideas. Because at the end of the day, those unis are known for their research. The whole purpose of research is you do your own thing and you're trying to explain hard concepts to people in a way that they can understand as well. Yeah. So if you're the type of person that you do the maths, you do the physics, and you don't know how to like translate that to someone else, then I guess Oxford and Cambridge isn't really for you. It doesn't necessarily mean you're not smart. It's just a thing where you need to be able to explain your ideas or your thought process to someone else so that they can see where you're coming from.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I'd even argue and say that an idea is only as good as it can be communicated, if that makes sense. Like, let's take the iPhone, yeah, for example, yeah. Everyone associated that with Steve Jobs because he was the one who communicated the idea so effectively, right? So, like, building those communication skills are just as important as building, like, the problem-solving skills, the aptitude, the learning. That's how you literally convey the learning, isn't it?
Exactly, yeah. That's a good analogy, actually.
Appreciate it, bro. So, that's calm. Now, let's take it to your matriculation day, innit?
Okay.
How'd you find it? That must have been a special time, innit?
Yeah, I guess I felt important because, like, you're walking around in your gown, you know, like, people are taking pictures of you.
Or Batoni.
But with me, it was weird because, like, obviously freshest flu was going around, and I think I had something worse because, like, I was literally coughing out blood. I was coughing out blood.
How, bro?
That morning, I was coughing out blood, bro. I was so ill. And the night before, there was, like, an ACS event, so we went, like, clubbing and whatnot. Don't know why they would do that. Like a Friday before. But yeah, I went there, had a bit of fun. It was nice. Then matriculation was like the next day. And yeah, it was just nice to be part of like tradition, you know. Like that was the point where I was like, right, like actually at Oxford, like I'm actually part of like this thing. And then you get to see everyone in the gowns, everyone's taking pictures. So yeah, it was actually a really nice experience. I didn't get to go punting though because I was super ill. And my two friends at the time, because we went to different colleges go at different times. Obviously, these guys were on black people timing. I'm pretty sure we even missed the ACS photo because every year they take ACS photo.
Yeah, I've seen them, bro.
We missed the one to do because they do a girls one and a boys one. We missed the boys one because we were just too late, innit? And then we didn't go punting. Well, I didn't go punting because I was ill.
Mr. Oxford, could you explain what punting is?
Punting,
So the rest of us.
I said no more. So basically, you go on like a boat. I don't even say it's a boat. But like it's like
a like canal type thing.
Yeah. And it's like you have one of you's gonna be like obviously people are sitting down, one of you's like on the stick and using that stick to like navigate the river and that. So yeah, I've done it a couple of times. There was one time I fell in. It was peak, bro. I was so scared, man. I thought because normally the water isn't too like deep, but for some reason where I fell, because I was waiting for my feet to touch the ground. my whole I was submerged under the whole thing, yeah. I was like, where's the floor? I started panicking.
You swim?
No. I mean, I can, but it's been a while, so I can't. I don't think I'm qualified to say I can swim. Last time I've actually gone swimming, 2018. So
and you were what? 115 kilos back then as well.
That's what I'm saying. My boys had to like pull me up. Yeah, it was peak, man. It was.
So you weren't wearing the gown or anything, were you?
No. This was like after exams.
Yeah. Oh, okay, that's dope. Yeah. So, what were your first impressions of Oxford then?
First impressions. Okay, let me actually think. This was a while back.
Of course, bro. I feel like anyone walking into that is probably thinking very bougie, smartest people, and horrendous workload. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Especially because I already knew I was kind of like good because obviously I picked engineering and engineering at any university is hard. So let alone doing it at Oxford. So in terms of like workload, I already knew I was finished. As far as like the environment and stuff, I felt like the city is actually pretty nice, but it's one of those ones where, especially when you're like exploring and going on walks around Oxford, you get hit with reality where like I feel like Oxford looks more bougie from the outside than actually is here. Because I'll be real, it's full of like it's low-key full of crackheads and not everywhere, but like there's I don't know. It's not as like glamorous as people make it to look.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Oxford and Cambridge have like a huge homeless problem. I think.
I have no idea, but I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, there's a lot of weird stuff that happens in the street, but yeah, in terms of like the environment, yeah, it's a nice place, especially in summer. It's really, really beautiful. What was the other part of the question as well?
Yeah, what were you like expecting walking in?
I thought people would be more like stuck up, if I'm being honest. But like when I first came, everyone was like mad chill, like they were calm. Obviously, because I missed half of my freshers week, I went to Birms. Yeah, it was a big mistake. But yeah, I went to Birms, so I didn't really get to like socialize with people like that. Especially when I came.
Why did you go Birms though?
Remote.
To see your book. Fair enough.
There's no way like staying in Oxford for freshers week. But yeah, but when I came back from like Birms and that, the people I met, they were actually so calm. But it can be a bit cliquey at times because obviously certain people like it's hard. I wouldn't say I struggled to fit in because I didn't really care about that. But
Mr. Nonchalant.
Yeah, it's just one of those ones where I knew obviously people here are from like different places, you know, important people, some people's parents here. It's completely different world to what I'm used to. So it was one of those ones where I expected a bit of everything, but in terms of like the microaggressions and stuff, I didn't really experience much of that. Yeah, so that was a surprise. Yeah, people were calm. Steady.
Yeah, did it feel a bit weird though because you were like the only one from the school that bus case that made it out of South London exactly, and then you see other people coming from like schools where like they know they're always gonna have like an Oxbridge branch over there, innit? Was that what made it clicky in a sense?
Nah, I wouldn't even say that's what made it clicky. It's like in terms of the school thing, obviously, I don't know how to answer that question. Like, I wouldn't say that the fact that people that knew each other were already together type thing. It was more a thing where, I don't know, I guess different people gravitate towards each other, just like based on how they look, how they talk and stuff. But I wasn't too fazed by all of that, to be fair, because I knew that obviously university full of different people. I knew I was going to find my people eventually. So yeah, I didn't really have much of that in mind.
Did you ever get homesick though at Oxford?
No. You know what? It's weird. Like some people, they go back home like every week. Out of the people that go uni, I'd probably say I'm one of the people that go home like the least. Yeah, but that's because like I'm just always like busy with like work and stuff, innit? Obviously, I'm not trying to justify like neglecting family. It's always good to go back every once in a while. But me personally, I didn't really experience like homesickness.
How did it come to like more practical things, right? Like, could you even get retwists at Oxford, bro?
You know what? I was blessed. Obviously, I'm gonna shout out Karena. Shout out to Karena, Kayla Radar on IG. Yeah, she does hair. She was third year. Well, she just graduated. Well, she did hair. So yeah, she had me right. Well, she graduated. So the situation's looking kind of peak right now. But yeah. But I had someone to like actually do hair, luckily.
Of course, as I touched on in my intro, yeah, you focused on other stuff and not just doing an engineering degree.
Yeah.
So how did you get into American football?
So there was two like events that happened that made me like, alright, I'll give it a go. So one time I was a freshers fair. Keep in mind, obviously I had made no friends because I spent freshman.
Yeah, bro, I was in Birmingham.
Had a good time, I can't lie. But yeah, so freshers fair came around. I was just walking by myself, and then yeah, some guy was like, "Oh mate, you should try American football, you know?" He gave me a flyer, and I just grabbed it because I was like, "Why not?" You know. And I'm pretty sure that flyer, and I don't even know where I ended up in it. And then one of my boys, he had an older brother that was also in Oxford, and then his older brother played American football. So one time he was like, "Oh, you man should try pull up." So we came for the first like training session. I saw it. I was like, "Oh, like this is lit." We see the older black people there as well. So like, come on, like.
So you found your people regardless, innit?
Yeah, literally. And then yeah, that's how I started like getting into American football.
That's dope, you know, because like I would never have expected someone like Oxford of all places, you know, real life Hogwarts, to be doing NFL, you know. Yeah. Would you say that American football is practiced at a lot of other unis, or is it just Oxford and Cambridge?
No, other unis, you know. I'm pretty sure every uni, because there's a whole like league system. Everything.
In the UK?
Yeah, Imperial, bare unis, bro.
Imperial?
Yeah, they have all these unis have American football.
Big man team.
Yeah, man.
Which uni is the best though? No bias.
You know what? There are certain unis like it's not even fair because they slap scholarships in it, so they get guys from
in the UK.
They get guys from abroad like to come play. So they just import in it. I don't know the name, but Exeter's quite good. They slapped us differently because we made it to like a division. It was a final. It was a final. We made it to one final, and then obviously they whacked us, man. Because all their players, yeah. What you say is different though. Because obviously their players, because Oxford terms are like 8 weeks.
Yeah.
So even though the season starts early, that's even before our term starts. So other like unis have more time to train their players. The players are actually more focused towards like the things. Whereas with us here, America was like one of the. I wouldn't say
it's
it's
a
like,
side quest.
Yeah. Let me not say. I don't want to get in trouble if you say side quest.
Okay, my bad.
I wouldn't say side quest, but it's like we're not as like intentional.
It's not more on your plate, right?
Exactly. Yeah. That's the shit. But it's lit though.
100%, bro. Do you ever worry about getting brain damage before an exam?
Brain damage, yeah. Especially because I'm a running back, so we get hit quite a lot. But yeah, I always have it in mind. I mean, there are rules that make it so you can't tackle in a specific type of way. So it's calm, but you always get that one. I don't know, that one joker that just thinks, yeah, let me crash out on everyone. Luckily for me, I haven't really been involved in any like head injury type of cases, but yeah, I always have it like back in the back of my mind.
You know that I'm keeping it, yeah? Playing American football, like, that's sly, like, engineering physics revision, if you get it. Because you're moving at fast speed, yeah? Elastic collisions, inelastic collisions, like, have you ever thought about it like that?
This guy's a nerd, man.
No. Now it's time for me to draw you out, yeah? You took art A-level, right? And when you're not drawing physics equations in your sketchbook.
Yeah, but that was the easiest thing for me to do, though. Think about it, yeah? Because it sounds counterintuitive, but I honestly am the most creative person. I'm quite good at drawing, but it's one of those ones where art is subjective in itself, so I have to do something that's kind of like outside the box. So I was thinking, there's no way I'm going to be one of these things like identity or like stuff like that. So I was like, cool, what's the easiest way for me to actually get the highest grade? As easy as possible. Cool, let me just link it to maths and physics. Like Da Vinci, golden ratio, just keep it to all that. So,
but see, that isn't that common though. Like, I feel like that's why as well Da Vinci, like you mentioned, is holding such high esteem because he like bridged the gap between art and science.
Science, yeah. So yeah, it was one of those ones where I was able to like leverage off of what someone else did. And it's like not many people that do art do maths, physics,
Naturally.
So it felt like I took the easy way out by doing that. But hey, you gotta make life easier, innit?
Work smarter, not harder.
Exactly, man.
But you did work very, very hard for your A-levels though, bro.
Yeah, man.
So how did you bang over 90% in A-level maths and A-level physics, bro?
You know what, yeah, I didn't actually bang over 90%. Maths I did. I got 273 in maths.
300, that's 90%.
Yeah, that's 90.
Yeah.
Physics, it was more like 87%.
Bro,
Around
you did AQA, don't it?
Yeah.
AQA be killing.
You know what,
If you did paper 2 this year, yeah?
I need to actually, I want to get hands on that paper. I want to see it. I want to be able to answer the questions on it. I feel, because there's so much physics stuff that I've forgotten. Because obviously we don't do it in engineering. But I want to try. I want to see that paper. But how did that, bro? It was one of those ones where I feel like my method was kind of overkill. Because I literally did every single past paper of this spec. Because AQA had a new spec from 2016.
Yeah.
They had an old spec as well. I did every past paper from that.
Yeah.
I think it was from 2000 all the way up to 2015. Every past paper of that. So I literally did every single AQA paper from 2000. Then I did NXL papers from 2015. I only did papers that overlapped with my spec. I did all of that. And then, because obviously I didn't answer every question, so I did a thing where I did it. How long did I time myself? What would I time myself? I think because the papers were like 2 hours. I'll try and see if I can finish what I know in an hour 30. I did all of that. Maths, I didn't really do much revision for because I feel like, I don't know, maths was just one of the, I found it was quite
easy. You do further as well. It like preps you so easily for pure, especially. Like all my boys that did further, they found maths so light.
Yeah, maths, obviously, that's just, I don't know if I'm like, I feel like even A-level maths was easier than GCSE maths, in my opinion. No, yeah, it was. Because I didn't even get a 9 in GCSE. I was never going to get a 9. Even though I didn't sit the exam, I was never going to get a 9 in GCSE. I found GCSE maths harder than A-level maths for some reason.
Fair enough.
Yeah. I feel like my method was like, yeah, it's kind of hypocritical for me to say not to burn out, but I just did it because physics is one of those subjects where you think something is correct, you can visualize it in your mind, it's still wrong. So,
oh my god.
It's one of those ones where
my god.
You want
physics is taking me to some dark time.
Yeah, it's dark, it can be dark. So it's one of those ones where you want to like throw yourself to as many problems as possible so that, you know, I guess you can prepare yourself. It's not about getting the questions right, it's more about the problem solving aspect of it.
That's so true.
So yeah, because luckily for me, there were some questions, because we had advanced information, yeah?
Yeah.
Wave wasn't meant to come up. There was a flipping 15-mark section in Wave. And I think for paper 2, capacitors wasn't meant to come up as well. There was a hefty question on capacitors as well. But obviously, because I had done like so many papers,
I was able. That's why
I wasn't phased, because it's one of those ones where I thought I got finished in it, but the results they came around and it was actually calm.
Nah, that's nice to hear.
Yeah.
But I do feel like I feel like with the STEM subjects, it's kind of like playing a sport in the sense that it's only in real time in the moment that you can actually answer the question. You can't like prep for it like you would for like an essay question. Like with econ, English literature, history, you make essay plans, right? You memorize them and then you just like rinse and repeat. With maths, physics, there's such variation. And like you say, exposing yourself to that many types of question, it starts training your mind in it. You start getting that problem-solving gene per se.
Yeah, exactly. So it's all about just trying to do as many questions as possible. Obviously, it sounds cliche, but that's literally what it came down to for me. Just exposing myself to different questions, different examples as well. Because I feel like between examples, there's only so much they can ask about certain topics, especially like, let me think about potential dividers, for example. Like, electricity, I feel like it's one of those topics that A-level physics isn't really taught that well. And then I was only able to realise that once I got to university, because the type of physics you need to teach it properly, you don't really learn until you get to uni. So even then, I feel like certain topics are one of those ones where if you don't go beyond to what you learn in the classroom for, then you're not really gonna do that well. So it's just about throwing yourself to as many questions.
That's such a good point because I remember it was 2 weeks before my A-level started, and I was just like, I was in shambles for physics. I was like, why is the marks you've never writing what I'm writing? And then my boy was telling me how, because he's got a natural sciences offer for Cambridge.
Okay.
He was telling me that the physics at A-level, he finds it frustrating because he doesn't feel like they explain it right.
Yeah.
Like he was using fields to explain electricity, and I'd never deeped to that way before.
Yeah, I mean, it all like overlaps. because I don't want to sound nerdy I don't want to sound.
Bro, you're an Oxford guy, bro. You've already been that.
Like you learn stuff like Gauss's law. Like you start to look at like surface integrals, vector calculus, and then you realize the type of maths they use to explain gravitational fields, electric fields, magnetic fields. Like it's the same type of maths. Hence why all these equations, concepts are analogous to each other. So I feel like one good thing as well, if you want to be like good at these type of subjects, is being able to explain one subject with relative to another one, like seeing similarities between two different things. Because if you know how to do gravitational fields, by default you have base understanding of electric fields.
Yeah.
The only difference is that obviously you don't have a positive gravity, like everything's always attracting gravity. But yeah, just being able to see like similarities between different subjects is really good. It really helps. I remember the moment it clicked for me was when I clocked that acceleration, velocity, and displacement. It was the differentiation stuff.
Yeah, bro. I know what you're talking about.
That was the moment it clicked for me. And then even the Shiva equations as well. When I clocked, you could integrate to go from one to another. Yeah. I feel like that was the point. Once I clocked that, I was like, right, that's all linked. And after that, it was like exponential.
That's what I'm saying. No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it was all exponential after that because the moment you understand links, you don't have to memorize because you've already made the connections in your brain. So even if you haven't seen something for like a long time,
you just know you can derive it when you need to.
It's not. It might not always be efficient, but it's better to rely on being able to derive something than to just memorize it. Because memory can only like get you so far, especially for physics and maths. Like those are applied questions. Cool, you know the formula, but can you apply it to something you haven't seen before?
And I think that's important as well for people trying to go to Oxbridge as well. Because let's say you like memorize a concept here, like you mentioned Gauss's law for physics. You're with experts, bro. So once your memorization ends and they ask you a techie question that you've never seen before, that's when it crumples like a house of cards. So like you said, being able to derive stuff from first principles, is so important, honestly.
Yeah.
I would also say as well, is that, would you say that you were always trying to stretch beyond the spec because you knew you wanted to do engineering at uni? Or was it something that your teachers gave you in lessons?
Yeah, I'll say especially for maths, because I was like really good at maths in the most humble way possible. Like maths was like so obviously teachers would give you questions on the board. I would really finish, and because the type of person I am, I taught bears, so like I'll always like distract my friends and shit. So I used to get in trouble. I used to get in trouble quite a lot. So what they'll do is like they'll just give me just harder questions, and then they'll tell me, okay, look at this stuff, and then So I feel like doing the AS&5 really helped with that, just going beyond. So yeah, I'll say I've always like tried to go beyond.
But how did you then manage that step up then to university level? And another thing as well that you didn't mention is that I feel like even though you have shorter terms at Oxbridge, I feel like you get way more work than other unis as well. So how do you pattern that? As well as being with guys here that are the smartest in the braziest schools as well.
Bro, I just have to survive if I'm being honest. Like, I remember there was one module, it was digital electronics. I think I had like 3 or 2 weeks on it. And even the lecturer was saying like, I know it's a lot of content. Ideally, you probably have at least a whole month dedicated to this, but we just squeeze it into 2 weeks. Some people, they get back. Some people are geniuses in it. But with me, if I'm being honest, don't be like me. I just completely aired it. I did. Because like you get optional questions and stuff, but I just completely ignored it. So you can't, it's impossible to get free everything unless you're like a super genius. I'm not a super genius. I'm just a regular guy, if I'm being honest. But I am though, like I'm not super mega smart. I'm a hard worker who just happens to end up.
Bro, this is your time to brag, bro.
Bragging, but sometimes they just violate. I feel like they violate the amount of work they give us, but I guess it's good because it teaches us how to like
be efficient, isn't it? Synthesize.
Even the type of work, the type of places you're trying to work at, it's always going to be that fast-paced environment. And even speaking to people that have graduated from Oxford, they always say like, in terms of how much workload you're going to do, Oxford is probably as bad as it gets. So it's like if you survive Oxbridge, then it's like, okay, you know how to do
everything.
Yeah, pretty much. Unless you go into certain, like, obviously IB is a different ballpark because they just violate with workload and stuff.
9 to 9.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. 60-hour weeks.
Yeah. But I do feel like as well then that like going somewhere like Oxbridge, even Imperial LSE, gives you that like sense of high agency, like, because you always have to like juggle so many things all at once that like everything else, like you said, becomes so much easier. Yeah. And I feel like I feel like one biggest thing that we have is like, I'm saying we, but like you're a full-on adult. I'm literally still 18. Like guys my age have years that like we kind of don't know what to do. If that makes sense. We're kind of waiting for someone to like push us in the right direction.
Yeah, I hear that. I mean, sometimes I won't lie if I say I don't feel like that even now, but I feel like the biggest wake up call for me to realize that even though I don't know what to do, I still have to take action was like spring week first year, because I didn't know what spring week was until it was spring week season. I didn't get LinkedIn till like literally like after spring week. That's when I got LinkedIn. So I wasn't always like educated about that. So it's one of those ones where even if you don't know what you want to do, just at least do something that you find interesting. Doesn't necessarily mean that you're gonna end up doing that, but it's better to have something in your CV you can talk about because there's loads of transferable skills you can apply. So it's just better to do something than to do nothing, basically.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like, I've got a video coming out here that's just telling year 13s that finished here to just try and do cool stuff this summer, you get what I'm saying? Because it's all well and good, yeah, like catching up with Power, The Boys is out, I'm watching Fire Force as well, but like when you start creating new stuff that you've never done or learning new skills, that's when your brain actually starts to expand.
Yeah.
Like even with you with engineering, yeah, like a lot of kids, like I was watching Ben 10 as a kid, yeah, and you're out here making rubber powered glides. So I feel like when you're creating stuff as opposed to consuming stuff, yeah, that's when you start to like grow into who you are as a person, innit?
Yeah, I guess it teaches you a lot about yourself as well. Because it's one of those ones where you didn't even know you were interested in it, but you actually end up sort of like becoming obsessed about it, want to learn more about it. And then that makes it way easier to explain to someone in an interview. Oh, because they'll be like, okay, I saw you did X, Y, Z, explain it. And then when you're explaining it, it doesn't even feel like you're trying to remember what you did. Because you're like submerged into it, it's like just talking about it, it flows. So it helps in the long run as well.
That's a good point. Would you say then that your love for engineering has increased or decreased at Oxford?
Man, I'll be honest, man. I'm not gonna like lie.
We keep it honest on this podcast.
It has decreased, man. Because my personal statement was a civil engineering personal statement. But
sorry, what is civil engineering? That's for like bridges like and architecture.
Bridges, infrastructure, buildings. So it has a bit of overlap with mechanical in the sense that you look at certain systems, like dynamic systems, where you're looking at stuff like braking, stability. So it has overlap with that. Well, the only reason my personal statement of civil was because I wanted to be an architect. But I was like engineering, civil engineering. But then at another point I was like, oh, I want to become a mechanical engineer because like there's a lot you can do. You know, Iron Man, Tony Stark, I want to be the next Tony Stark. Like everyone, that's what I thought. But then certain modules just made me realise I don't really find this interesting or I don't like it. And then I don't think that's why I even I'm trying to do AI machine learning. So it's still within engineering, but you can do other things with it as well. So I'll say in terms of like pure engineering, I'll say unfortunately my interest in that's like decreased. I wouldn't say it's decreased that much.
But to me, it sounds like it's decreased and been replaced by something better, if that makes sense. Like you're kind of like substituting your interest for something else instead of it just dying out completely, right?
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, machine learning, you could argue it's a type of engineering in itself as well. Because if you think about what you're doing the same thing, just that instead of looking at like physical systems, you're looking at software, neural networks, stuff to do with data. So it's still engineering in a sense, just that it's not your traditional mechanical engineering that most people end up doing.
Yeah, but what is the difference between like your course and like a general engineering course? Because you study technically engineering science, right?
Yeah.
So what is that compared to like general engineering?
You know what? Because you say it's engineering sciences, I feel like it's just general engineering. Because like when I speak to other people of unis, it's like year 1 and year 2 they do a bit of everything, which is just like what Oxford does. In terms of the depth that they go into, I'm not too sure. I think Oxford, especially in first year, we learned quite a lot of stuff that other unis will probably introduce way later. And another difference with our degrees is that we get an integrated master's as well.
That is dope, bro.
Oh, and also because most engineering unis, like in terms of degrees, right, there's a bit of practical work you have to do. So when it comes to like stuff like CAD, like stuff like that, also doesn't really focus on that. We'll focus more on like the theory. Yeah. So I guess that's where the sciences come from. Because it's like in terms of the CAD software stuff, unless you're one of those people that do it in your spare time, like you have it on your own PC, we didn't really spend that much time in the first year looking at it. But like those are skills you learn through like internships and stuff like placements rather than actually in the degree. So I feel like other universities, they give you more projects, whereas Oxford is more like theoretical. So I'd say that's like the main difference. Now that I actually think about it.
Would you prefer then a more practical application for your degree, or are you fine learning more of like the abstract theory?
I feel like the practical stuff is only good when you're interested in what you're actually doing. If you don't really care about it, then it feels more like a chore. Because I've had times in practicals where I'm just thinking like, why am I doing this? Like, obviously it's compulsory, you know. You have to have a set skill set to actually end up with a degree. So I understand the importance of that. But if I'm being honest, I prefer more like the theory side of stuff. Because it's just nice to know why rather than how. But I guess it just varies from topic to topic.
So what are your tutorials like then for engineering?
So even tutorials vary from college to college. Well, in my college, you get put in like groups. And that's
what college do you go to, by the way?
Keble.
Keble?
Yeah.
Tough college.
Yeah, so most universities, especially Oxford and Cambridge, right? Actually, I don't know about Cambridge, but most colleges take in about 5/6 engineers every year. Keble takes in about 11, 12. So we have way more engineers than most of the universities. And in terms of tutorials, we get put into like groups of 3. And then, so it's standard. They give you do your lecture series, 2 tutorial sheets, and then you just put your tutorials. You do a tutorial. You have to send in your work at least the day before 5 p.m. so that they can mark it. They give you feedback on it. And then in the tutorial, different tutors as well. I have one tutor. He's the type of guy. If you see something, you list something blank, you're like, do it. Left it blank for a reason. He will still make you do it. And I feel like tutors like that, even though they may seem intimidating at first, is good because it kind of forces you to learn. So it's all about getting pushed up with confidence, and it's literally just like I said before, like interview, or like consistently over and over again. It becomes a norm. Like you get used to explaining stuff that you don't know. It's all about learning.
Yeah, I feel like as well, that one of the reasons why you got so good at maths and so good at physics was that you were pushing yourself out of that comfort zone. Like, who else would go to another school just to do further maths, bro? You know, banging out all these websites, reading these books, doing these stuff, like, you find it enjoyable, right? But there was stuff that you had no experience in. So, like, how did you, if you were telling someone that's not comfortable, like, putting themselves out there, what advice would you have for them in it?
Throw yourself out there. And put yourself out there in terms of what? Like, in terms of doing extra, or like...
I feel like it would be the same regardless, like, even if it's for academics or like...
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, how else are you going to grow if you just stick to the same stuff every day, you know? It could be from going to the gym, trying new sports, learning new language, getting better at something. At the end of the day, if you don't take action, then you're just going to be in the same spot. And what's the point of that? It's just boring. You know, you've got to try different things, challenge yourself, see how far you can go. So you just got to throw yourself out there.
Now, what type of people then? Because a lot of people, like I said, aren't sure what course to even start at uni. So what kind of people would engineering science be good for?
I'll say if you're the type of guy that when you're like obsessed about something, like you don't, or say that question, say for example you did a maths question, it's like, I have to get this right, no matter what, blah, blah, blah. Or if you like enjoy solving problems, I'll say it's a good, because you will have times where you're stuck, and it's also about being able to like drop your pride as well. I found it quite hard at first year.
Me? Oh my god, bro. When I was getting chopped at physics, nah, bro. I did not want to tell no one, bro. But
it was it's first year, because that was the first time I was consistently getting like just done. Like problem sheet came in, I just look at it like, oh my gosh. And sometimes it's like you avoid certain topics, but you know eventually you're gonna have to do it. So it's one of those ones where if you're the type of person that, you know, isn't afraid to let people know, okay, I don't really understand what I'm doing, but I'm willing to learn. If you're always willing to learn, I'll say engineering is for you as well. Obviously, you have to have like baseline knowledge in maths and physics. But in terms of attitude, you have to have a very like, okay, I'm not the most optimistic person, but like,
I'm not nonchalant.
But like, you have to be, you know, willing to put the work in as well. Yeah, because everyone knows people are grinders, me included in it, but some people are serious grinders. So, yeah.
Speaking of grinding, tell us how you got an F1 scholarship, bro.
F1 scholarship. Man, if I'm being honest, it was kind of like, I kind of got lucky, because this was after I got my offer, right? And then I was just browsing the Oxford website, I don't know why I was on the Oxford website. I don't remember why.
Because you got in like...
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I was doing research on the colleges and stuff, yeah? And then I must have just seen somewhere Formula One scholarship. I just went onto it, and then they were like, oh, blah, 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 increasing diversity in the motorsport industry. I was like, oh, that sounds cool. So if I'm being, I just filled in the form, because they sent me an email, because it was available for offer orders. I filled in the form, sent me an email and whatnot. Next steps, I had to write like an essay as to why I wanted to do it. And then, yeah, I submitted it, and I didn't hear from them. I said, when did I get my offer? January. Yeah. I didn't hear from them till like September. So I thought I didn't. So yeah, because I already applied for SFE. Because I just applied for that. The ones you just like, I didn't really care. I just did it just to do. So yeah, it was 8 months I didn't hear from them. I even forgot I applied until I got the email. I was like, what is this about? I got a scholarship, and I remember I applied for it. I was like, I applied for it, and then that's when I was so gassed. Told my mom, told my dad. Gassing me up. Calling auntie like, bro. I thought back to my cousins. I thought back to my cousins and that.
It's complaining about SFE, like, hey,
you know what? It's so funny because guys at church, that they'll see me. They'll be like, Mom, come look. He went to Oxford and he has dreads. Let me get dreads. It was that, bro. Can't lie. Yeah, it was nice, man.
I can't lie. Let me be real, The first time I saw you was at Oxbridge, innit? So me and my mum were in the car, and my mum was telling me from time that, you can't get long hair, you shouldn't get braids, it sounds serious. Look at anyone that goes to Oxford or Cambridge, that's black, don't get it. When I saw you, I quickly tapped on, I was like, Mum, look. Mum, I'm not trying to get dreads, by the way, but ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, man, as long as, just get a middle part, innit? If you're getting dreads, get a middle part. Yeah.
When did you get the dreads up?
This was like before A-level times, like, because I didn't originally I wanted to just get 2 strand twists and I was like, it's kind of long taking it out, combing everything out. It was long, so I was like, cool. I got 2 strands and like, this is before A-levels. Oh, so yeah, it was over. I had 2 strands in for like 2 years and a bit, and they turned into locks. So it's been 2 years. Yeah, I thought it was a year and 9 months, but it was actually 2 years and a bit.
Did your parents give you mad resistance?
No, they didn't care. They were chill. My parents were actually quite chill, but you know why? Because I think it was year 10 where I clocked like, if you actually bang grades, what can they use against you?
Big man thing, that's true,
Yeah, like, I just banged grades, so like, and I was well behaved as well. Like, it wasn't even like I was a problem kid or anything. I was just chill, like, so they didn't really care too much about what I did with my hair. As long as I'm not violent, and then if I come with blue hair, they'll just be like, what are you doing? But yeah, I'm reasonable. Yeah, it was calm.
Would you say then that getting into Oxford changed the way that people treated you then as well?
Yeah, 110%. Especially, I would say it was more like teachers, isn't it? Because I don't know, in school, especially sixth form, I wasn't really like out there. I didn't really talk to that many people. If I'm being honest, there's probably people that had never seen me until there's that poster to Oxford. Blah. In school, I was like low-key like a ghost, like, oh, no, who I am. But certain teachers, they used to just violate, because obviously they didn't teach like A-levels, because my school did A-level and BTEC. So some certain BTEC, I'm not going to name them, innit, because
they know who they are.
I'm not trying to get in trouble, but yeah, but once they found out that I was the guy with the offer, they started being extra nice. Hey, I liked it though. Privilege, isn't it?
But
it was just like, fairs, yeah. Say teachers did. In terms of people, not really. I don't know. Maybe some people thought differently about me, but I wasn't really out there like that, so I wouldn't know what people thought.
It's glad that you weren't really too focused on that as well, because I feel like, especially for me as well, you kind of get too caught in like what everyone thinks of you, especially in like sixth form as well. Like you're thinking, am I as smart as this person? What did this person get? And it's not like the type of composition that helps you get better. It's not even a competition. It's just you being like hella parasocial, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So sometimes like you kind of need to go off the grid to make sure that you're just patterning your thing differently. Because that's what matters at the end of the day.
Focus on you.
Yeah, but you weren't actually from this country, I say. Nah, that is not racist, bro. So where did you come from, bro?
So born in Spain, stayed there for 10 years, then moved here 20.
¿Hablas español fluido?
A veces, depende. Algunas veces tengo palabras que puedo decir bien, otras veces no.
Tu español es muy rápido.
It's
No comprendo.
Nah. When I was in Spain, I used to be a chatterbox. So my Spanish then was rapid. So what I'm doing now is just slow. Like, even when I'm talking back to my friends in Spain, I tend to slow down. Habla más lento, por favor, no entiendo, me está diciendo. Because those guys, I'm just like, oh, chill. Even when I'm watching shows in Spanish as well, sometimes it's really too quick. I just have to pause it. Like, let's rewind that.
Do you use subtitles then?
Sometimes, it depends. If I'm feeling brave, I'll take them off. I feel like using subtitles is better because what happens is that using subtitles, then I just forget that they're there, and then I just watch the show.
Yeah, I feel like when I started like I'm Yoruba, yeah. So when I started like actually learning some Yoruba, it wasn't that really through my parents, yeah. But in Nollywood, like I hear them speak and I see the subtitles, and I kind of like put them together. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah.
So now I just start like just repeating what I heard.
What's your Yoruba saying though? I'm not Yoruba, so I know.
Yeah, you're from Edo. You're from the Esson tribe.
The what?
Someone told me you're from the Esson tribe.
The who? Who told you that?
Benedict, bro. You told me that.
Oh, Ben.
Yeah.
The medic, innit?
No. He's in my year.
Oh, he's in your years. How does he know?
Because he has like a similar name to you, innit? So I just literally shouted.
What tribe?
Edo tribe, and like a tribe within that tribe. It's called the Esson tribe. Do you know that? Can you speak Edo?
No. Unfortunately, no, I can't lie.
But you can speak Spanish though, and that's hard. Like, would you say that's had any benefit that you've seen from it?
It's got a couple in it.
Because I feel like people don't like learning other languages, and I feel like you should. Like, it's one of them things that I feel like everyone should. Not because, even if there's no utility, I just feel like you should in it. It just adds more context. You know what I'm saying?
I guess especially, for example, if you're applying to like whatever, it's just nice to like have it there. You're not speaking another language because it increases your network by far. You're able to speak another language. Sometimes you could have an interview. Someone will be like, "Oh, I see that you said you spoke this language. How come?" Like that's a nice conversation starter as well. Yeah.
I was at an event like I think the day after my A levels, yeah, and I was walking because I asked the security guard like if there was a space to pray in it. Then he says like, "Excuse me, are you Nigerian?" I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Are you Yoruba?" And I spoke a little bit of Yoruba in there, and it's just like nice seeing people smiling and they speak their language in it. I feel like that's cold, bro.
It's nice way to like just get to talk to people and stuff.
But we kind of brushed over the F1 scholarship a little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
So, what team did you work for, and what did you actually do? Because it didn't just come with your uni fees getting paid. You got free work experience as well.
Yeah. So.
And you're saying you're nonchalant now, bro. You are a grafter, bro.
Respect. Yeah, you're the one that's saying I'm nonchalant. That's true. Yeah. So in terms of like what I actually did in my placement, I was at Haas. So Haas is relatively a small team because it's quite new. I think the team was founded in 2016. So
damn.
Yeah. So originally it was a car racing team, but the guy wanted to branch out to another market, so he now has an F1 team as well.
Wait, what's the difference between car racing? Is the one with like Nuremberg, right?
Yeah, it's just that's just cars, bro. This one is like Formula 1.
Oh, so Formula 1's what kind of car is that called then?
F1 car.
That's what it's called?
Yeah, F1 car. Yeah, I'm not too knowledgeable about all this stuff, by the way, so I could be talking rubbish.
Don't get out to me in the comments.
Don't get out to me in the comments. Be nice, please. But yeah, so because the team was quite small, that was kind of a benefit because there was a lot I could do. Because some of the people I was working with, they used to work at McLaren, F1, all these big teams, and they said because like there's like 1,000 people in the place, you're kind of confined to do one thing. Whereas because the team is quite small, especially I was in the electronic engineering department, they only have like 4 people there, and they're in charge of like electronics and stuff. So as the intern, I was able to do stuff that I wouldn't have had another chance. Say I got internship at like Red Bull or something, I would have been stuck on one thing, confined to do one department, but I was doing like different things.
So you got more experience.
Yeah, basically. So I got more out of it. But I can't talk too much about what exactly I was doing because kind of like NDA type situation. Because they're working on parts that they're going to use in cars and so
it's cool. Yeah. I've seen that benefit as well because last summer, 12 summer, I did like a 5-day like internship at this quant firm called like G Research. And because they're so small, we got to like visit every department and have more like in-depth conversations. Then it feels somewhere bigger like a JP or HSBC where they've got like so many people that A, it's hard to talk to them, and B, they're just gonna put you in like a smaller space.
Exactly. You don't really have that much of an impact. So, yeah, that's one of the good things about my placement that has.
Would you say then as well, speaking on careers then, is that, does your degree, do you get any help when it comes to preparing for life after Oxford?
Like Oxford gives me any
Career support, yeah.
Yeah, these guys. So to be fair, I haven't really taken much advantage of it just yet because I still have 2 more years left of my degree. But like this time next year, or just before this time next year, because they always send emails. They're always on it, sending emails about opportunities, internships. I don't know if it's the same with other unis, but I know Oxford is really they're really good in terms of letting people know about opportunities. Always hosting CV workshops, cover letter workshops. And even our ACS as well, like we be hosting events to try and help people and stuff. Sometimes we get companies to come through. And then,
cool.
Yeah.
Shout out Oxford ACS.
Yeah, man.
How have you found your ACS experience?
I would say it was all right. Like,
is it overrated?
Overrated. Is ACS overrated? No, not even. I mean,
Calm.
Yeah, they're all right. They're calm. That's what I've been saying.
What other societies have you joined?
I joined the Spanish Society, but I didn't even attend any of them. Hey, let's hope that maybe third year I attend. Who knows? But yeah, second year was dark, man. I didn't have time to go to because apart from American football and ACS, even ACS, I wasn't even at their events like that. So yeah, those are the 2 events. I tried to join a consultant society thing, but I wasn't really a fan of consulting, so I just kind of rushed that. Yeah.
But would you say your degree then allows you to have like very flexible career options then? Like you're not pigeonholed straight into engineering?
110%, yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like if you don't know what to do, engineering is probably one of the best degrees to go for. Yeah. I mean, you could say the same about because I know people that do languages that end up pivoting into finance, tech. So you could say, but I feel like engineering makes it easier because you get the qualitative and quantitative skill set that's needed. Because at the end of second year, I had to do some coursework modules. And those modules, some of them were technical, some of them were more like presentation. And it's like just being able to present stuff is kind of like a skill, being able to like explain to a panel of people why your idea is correct, why they should go with your proposal. I feel like that side of engineering is what makes it so transferable to like other careers. So I feel like engineering is a good degree.
And that's such important if you're trying to start your own company as well, right? Like, if you think about it, James Dyson at heart is an engineer, but because of his like entrepreneurial skills and his communication ideas, that's why like everyone knows that Dyson has the vacuum cleaners, all these other things as well.
Yeah, even the head of Oliver Wyman, he did engineering at Cambridge even. So it's just if you look, that's why most very successful people, you're not surprised to find out that he's still engineering. There's just a lot you could do with that degree in terms of the skills you learn, rather than the actual maths. Like the maths is just there because it's engineering, but if you look at it from a wider perspective, engineering teaches you loads of skills that you can apply to different areas.
It sounds like a degree which builds, it's built like a lot of character development, if that makes sense.
Man. Serious character development. Serious. Well, yeah, because I guess you get put in situations where it's like you constantly have to go out of your way to find things out, or something goes wrong and it's like you're constantly trying to deal with how to tackle the problem. You solve one, another one comes. You never complete it. There's always something happening. So in that process, you're kind of like learning more about yourself.
Yeah, when I was younger, I used to always like be demotivated to work because I'll be like, when does the work end? And the fact is, it never does, right? You just have to make sure you're doing something that enjoys and you have like a different type of problem. Like, it's true that money doesn't solve your problems, but you'd rather have the problem of, do I choose to buy this house here or this house rather than having the problem of not having a house to begin with.
Exactly, man. Like, you just want to put yourself in a situation where it's comfy. Like, the goal is to retire early, so, try your best to make money. Obviously, you want to do something, you want to make it so that you're doing something you love, but it's not always going to work out that way. So that's why I did engineering. I was like, it just maximizes my chances of doing something. Hopefully, I can find something I actually proper enjoy, and I can narrow all my interests down on that one thing.
One enjoyable thing you did though, like, you should watch his TikTok in it as well, is the varsity ski trip, bro. I saw you there with the goggles, the goose. So how was it, bro?
Can't lie, ski trip was lit, man. It was good. Got to meet loads of like-minded people as well. And most of the people there was the first time. Actually, let me not lie. In terms of my circle, it was most of our first time skiing. So loads of funny moments. Yeah, it was humbling as well, because like you're seeing these kids going in and out, doing up zigzags, whilst you don't even know how to stop. Like imagine me coming down like dangerous speed, not knowing how to stop, bro. It was crazy, but yeah, it was so lit. The people were vibes. Everyone was nice.
Yeah, what made you want to try skiing though for the first time? Because
Skiing.
I didn't know they had skiing in South London.
No, the actual trip was in
It's in
we went in France. It was
Cool.
it was France. Yeah, it was France. So what made me try is that honestly, it's one of those ones where it's like part of the Oxbridge experience. They have, and the good thing about the trip as well, it's open to alumni as well. So even after,
really?
yeah, like even I saw friends that graduated, but like they came back, so it's open to alumni as well. I was like, let me do it because it's part of the Oxbridge experience. Even though it's a bit expensive, it's like one of those things you want to do like just to like for the memories. So, yeah, it was lit as well. Yeah.
You think you might go again?
Maybe it depends. The man and I run it, innit? It's hard to get loads of black people to do one thing, you get it, like, but I wouldn't rule it out. I wouldn't rule it out doing it again.
Speaking of your friends, yeah, how did you like make those friends at uni as well? Even though you weren't even there for Freshers Week, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
Where did you look to?
So two of my closest friends, obviously, they went Brampton, and yeah, I knew them through a mutual, and then it was this event, right? Because there's this club, it's called Attic. Yeah, Attic. Obviously, if you go also, you know about Attic. But yeah, they were like, oh, they have this R&B room. I was in bed, I was just chilling because they had the ACS group chat on Snap. I was just scrolling, oh, they have this R&B room, everyone pull up, calm. I had made no friends at this point in time. I was like, calm. Got out of bed, got ready, went all the way to the club. Oh, I'm seeing that the room is closed now. So now we're just supposed bro.
I knew you were tight, bro.
Bro, I was angry, innit? So now they're just playing ABBA. Obviously, the other freshers, they're dancing, that's the music, innit? Like, and I just see like these two black guys just standing there looking unimpressed. I was like, that has to be them. So then I went up to them, you man, this is shit. This is dead, innit? It was just like, yeah. So we just sat down and then, yeah, we just spoke. And that's how we came tight. And then, yeah, others I met through the course, because out of the engineering pool, there's like 5 black people there. And one of them I met through like the first ever lecture. And then other ones I met through like ACS events, innit? Yeah.
But of course, in Oxford, you interact with like so many different types of people. Private school, man.
Yeah.
International student, everything. So how did you navigate making friends with those type of men?
I mean, some people was easy because like we had similar interests. Like, especially the guy that lived next to me, he was from Korea.
Cold.
Yeah, he was from Korea. And then the first thing, when he saw me, what was our first conversation? He said something like, because I was like big, because at the time I was like massive, innit? So he said something
115 kg, bro, what the hell?
Yeah, I was big, so it's like, oh damn, you big dude. And like, I was like, thank you, blah, blah, blah. And then so it's because we had similar interests like gym or like sports. And then I guess like finding that common ground made it, and obviously because we both studied engineering as well, he lived next to me, so we spent quite a lot of time together as well. So it's just all about finding the common ground you have with someone and then just speaking and then seeing more of the personality, and then from that, that's when you become like proper friends.
Sounds like Oxford has made you a lot more open-minded as well.
110%. Because I don't know, the type of person I am, I can be a bit like awkward sometimes. Like I find it hard to like network with people. But I guess going to Oxford, like that was a way for me to frame myself on, because I didn't know anyone. I had to make friends, obviously. There's no way I'm going to be in that environment just by myself.
For 4 years now.
Depressing, man. So it was one of those ones where eventually I just had to be like, just do it. And then now it's even my network skills are not like top tier yet, but like I'll say like it's improved.
I'd say they're getting better though. Like even when I met you at Tug Oxbridge when I was in year 12, you seemed pretty chill.
Yeah, I guess it's kind of situational as well.
Bearing in mind, you're giving a whole talk to us, man, about getting into Oxbridge as well. So like, for you to do that as someone who like didn't even think they were going like just a year ago, I feel like it's pretty dope.
Appreciate it, man. I mean, yeah, I guess it's all about just trying to be genuine. Like, just say what you think, you know, and yeah, that just talk to people. Yeah.
That's very fair, man. What would you say is something about Oxford, yeah, that not enough people know about, in your opinion?
I need to think about this.
I'll give you time to think.
Something that not a lot of people know.
Yeah.
Something that not a lot of people know. Yeah, it's full of weird people, man. Like, yeah. See, I can't get into detail, but just like, there's weird people everywhere, even in Oxford. Yeah, there's loads of like strange stuff like people do initiate. Like, it's just weird. It's just a lot of weird
Illuminati stuff.
Huh?
Illuminati stuff.
I'm gonna say it's just like, ew. Yeah, people do disgusting stuff.
I think, yeah, me and my boy, so my school took us to Oxford for like a residential, like our first week, yeah. That's what we did, like our induction thing.
Mm-hmm.
And me and my boy were like at the computer science department because we both were interested in that at the time. And we're walking out here and we see this brother with like some tall pointy cap here and he's wearing like a black gown. I'm not even joking, bro. If he has this picture or something, like he was walking along the streets of it.
By itself.
Yes, bro.
Every once in a while you do see weird stuff in it, but I guess I'm numb to it. Like, I've just got used to it now. But yeah, it's just, yeah, you can come across very interesting people. Just to know them.
That's fair. What do you see yourself doing in third year that you haven't already yet done at Oxford?
In terms of trying something new out?
Yeah, just in general. What are you looking forward to, bro?
I guess because in terms of my degree, third year is more like flexible in the sense that I'm doing stuff I actually chose. So I'm looking forward to learn about stuff I actually picked rather than just having to do something because it was a cool subject.
What did you pick, by the way?
So
have you picked your modules?
Yeah. So the modules I picked, because you have to pick 5 optional papers. So I picked papers in machine learning, control theory, communications. What was the other one again? Control theory, because B15 control theory, B14 is like information engineering, and then software engineering. Yeah, I picked. So in terms of what I'm looking forward to, is just looking forward to learn more about those things because like that's actually what I'm interested in. And then also third year isn't like as intense. I've heard different things from different people, but like overall the consensus says that third year isn't as intense as second year. So I'm just looking forward to the flexibility. Maybe I'll be able to, I don't know, pick up tutoring. I was contemplating, but I'll see what the time management is saying, and if I can fit that into my schedule, then I could try that out. Nice source of income. Yeah. So yeah.
Have you ever had to worry about money then, Oxford?
Once I got this scholarship, no. You know what? Hey, first year I was eating good because I said I didn't know I was gonna get the scholarship, so I applied for SFE. Now I'm getting the SFE scholarship, bro. Yeah, I had better money, fam. I mean, I still have a decent amount, but yeah, I didn't really have to worry about, and I'm grateful for that opportunity as well. Because like the other people that unfortunately, even though they have the grades and stuff, because of financial issues, they weren't able to, you know, follow through with coming to Oxford.
Really? And actually saw some people.
Yeah, there's been times where people, because of money, and it's kind of, but I guess different colleges provide different bursaries, you know.
Yeah, that's true.
So like there's always support, but I don't know. But in terms of my case, I'm blessed in it. I didn't have to worry too much about the financial side of things. That's why I even made a TikTok. Obviously, back you as well. You told me to make a TikTok about it. This guy told me to make a TikTok about it. But I realized that I'm actually helping people out as well, because some people they think, oh, I want to go here, but like, I'm not gonna fund it. So it's all about just trying to find opportunities, scholarships. Yeah, so I haven't really had to worry about the financial side.
That's cool. Speaking of colleges, yeah, how did you choose your college?
Bro, if I'm being honest, people are gonna flame me for this year, but when I tell you, I did not know. Like before I applied, I didn't know how Oxford worked. I'm not even joking. I thought colleges were like forms, yeah. I thought the whole university was like just one uni, and colleges is like accommodation names. So then the day I found out, my mom and I came to visit Oxford. We got to the train station, right? And then one of our staff members like, oh, do you know I can find Oxford University? This guy just laughed at me. He's like, Oxford University? I'm like, where is it?
No, why did he laugh at you?
Yeah, he just laughed, innit? And now I'm thinking, did he laugh at me because he thought I couldn't get in, or because...
No, that's just... Imagine you asked that.
What you say, he laughed because he was like, oh, it's split into 30 different colleges.
Mm.
I was like, what is a college? because I'd seen college before, but I thought maybe because the uni has like, there are primary schools that use Oxford as its name. So I thought colleges were like, oh, just sixth forms. I wasn't interested in that. I was interested in university. So I didn't even know what a college was. And that was after I had applied. So, yeah, they explained the whole college system to me. That's when I was like, oh, so that's what colleges are.
Wouldn't you say they are kind of similar to forms though? Just for like a bit more autonomy.
It's completely different. I can't lie. A college experience, because different colleges have different type of people in them, innit? Yeah, some colleges have a certain demographic of people than others.
So what kind of people are Kibo college?
Funny enough, my college is full of private school kids, but they're all calm. Like, yeah, these ones are funny. I don't really talk, but in terms of college, I don't really talk to them like that because I didn't really socialize with them in freshers that well. But like, I'm cool. I'd like to think I'm cool with you guys. I don't know if I'm cool with you or not. Not that it matters, but I mean, but yeah, they're all calm people, you know. Funny enough, because my college has one of the highest percentage of private school kids as well. But yeah, they're all blessed. But some of the colleges that have like more state school people, you can tell that there's a difference in terms of like how people carry themselves, in terms of like how friendly, how approachable they are. Because like my college is a bit cliquey. Like everyone, it's like, and there's nothing wrong with that, you know. They all relate with each other, but I just don't relate. I just can't relate with most people in my college, innit? So yeah. Like your college experience, yeah, it's very different across colleges. So,
but you still love your college, don't you?
I used to get in trouble with these questions. I'm not gonna lie, like
you're being through.
They're cool people, innit?
What college would you have chosen then and why?
If I had known, let me think of colleges that actually have steady people.
I'm gonna start naming them.
Because my college is convenient. It's literally 10 seconds away from engineering department.
It's calm.
And I didn't even apply to Keble. Somerville was a good college actually. That's the college I actually applied to, luckily. But that college has really like calm people in it. So yeah, if I had Somerville. Yeah. Well, Keble, I don't regret going Keble though, because it's the #1 ranked college for engineering in Oxford. I didn't even know that.
That's tough, bro.
I got sent there. That's why, because all these guys are so flipping smart. So I was the #1 ranked college for engineering. So I guess I ended up in the best position I could be in.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy though, because people think, well, I think as well, that the pooling system takes you from the popular colleges to the less popular. But for you, it seemed like it was the opposite.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I guess it just somehow everything just plays for me upon that.
Yeah. And you know what's crazy as well? So one of my boys, he might be watching this, he got an econ offer at Cambridge, yeah? It was for Lucy Cav. I don't know if you've heard of it.
I've heard of the college, yeah.
And like, he rejected the offer. He rejected it for LSE, but I saw someone else from Reddit say that they were thinking of reapplying Cambridge, just for a different college.
Why?
Because guys get hung up on this college thing.
It depends though, because some colleges, in terms of like tutorials, yeah, I don't know. I have a friend. He goes Christchurch, innit? He says that this college is shit. Like they do the tutorials, innit? But I don't know.
Can you ask for new tutors?
Don't try that. Ask for new tutors, that, bro. Because more time the tutors are raking in money because they're there for research, innit? Like, the tutorials is only
this is their side thing.
This is more like their side thing. Like, at the end of the day, all these guys are here to do research. That's even why the terms are so short, because the guys want to focus on their research. But ask for new tutors. I mean, if you feel like you're brave enough to do that, then do it, innit? But I wouldn't dare. But unless they're cheeks, because I had this tutor, he was so bad.
What made him so bad though?
He didn't know the content. Like,
big man thing.
Yeah, I don't want to do too much because I don't want any of these guys to go send him this video. But he was terrible, man. He was so bad. And then it got to a point where, I guess if people, because there's always feedback. You can always give feedback. But you have to be smart about how you ask. Don't just be like, oh, you're rubbish.
You have to be.
It's more like, you have to, because if everyone thinks the same thing, and it's like, at the end of the day, the students are not benefiting from the tutorials, and obviously that's when you can like put in a motion and then see what you can do from there. Don't just be like, he's rubbish, let me get a new one.
Yeah.
It's all about your approach to the situation.
Yeah, you have to think smart.
Yeah, think smart, man. Because man, it's like asking for a new tutor, unless like he has to be really bad for you to do that though. Like,
you can't. Did you get that tutor switching in that scenario?
He was a first year tutor. I don't know if he's still around for the first years. I think he is. Because he's really good at his research, and that's why they keep him around. He's super smart, but just can't teach. And I feel like that's a problem with some lecturers as well, because they're so smart, like they get lost in their own way of thinking that they forget that we're not as familiar with the concept as them, so they're not able to convey it properly. So
That's another reason, yeah, why I feel like people should learn other people's languages, isn't it? Because it gives you more to relate to with the other person. Like you can meet to a middle ground.
Yeah.
And second of all, that's why I feel like it's important. Well, that's why I low-key make the TikTok to like document why I'm in this scenario now and inshallah in the future. And that's why I feel like it's important to like for people like you to document the journey as well. Because I feel like at a certain point you get Oxfordified, if that makes sense. You come out, you know, there's the full package, you speak well, you know, 100 kg, you got all these accomplishments, yeah. So you forget to, people stop forgetting that you're once in that similar position as well, innit?
Exactly. I guess, because to be fair, even before uni, when I used to think of Oxford person, I'd think, oh my gosh, like mythical creature, like, oh my gosh, like, wow, Oxford. But like, now that I'm here, honestly, like, I don't know if, I can't say Oxford's overrated, but like, you can leverage of it to the point where people think you're more than you actually are. And it's like, when I'm explaining to people how I got here, I guess it's one of those ones where I feel like they see me as better than I actually am. But like more time, I was just like you, know. I'm still the same guy. I just happen to go to Oxford. So yeah, that's even one of the reasons I made my TikTok account. Just like let people know like you can look like me and still end up at like these top places. Like you shouldn't feel a type of way just because of how you look or how you speak. Like that shouldn't be the limiting. That shouldn't put a cap on how far you can go.
So if I start seeing YGs studying engineering